So now we're talking about the different sections of the kidney. We start with the apical segment that is here, moving down to the inferior superior segment and the anterior inferior segment and the inferior segment. Both behind the anterior superior and the anterior inferior segment, both of these, we can't see it because it's behind, so we also have the posterior segment. The posterior segment is here. We also have, as you can see on our picture, we have the apical segment, the anterior superior, the anterior inferior, and behind those two is the posterior and then the inferior segment. In this section we can also see the minor calyx, here very nicely visible, then the major calyx and the pelvis, then leading into the ureter. So that was the that's the description of the urinary system. Urine is formed at the papilla, right down at the end of this pyramid. Each pyramid. So here, papilla, 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 and another one. Urine gets into the minor calyx, major calyx, pelvis, and ureter. This region here is called the hilum. The hilum is the part where the ureter exits and the vasculature is, so the artery and the vein. Then we have several borders. We have the medial border here, then the lateral border until here, and the medial border. We also have the cortical arch. The cortical arch is exactly above the pyramid, that part of the cortex. So if we look here, that would be, because we have got the pyramid here, so that thing on top here would be the cortical arch. As you can see here, that's that section here. Then we have here the pyramid, and between the pyramids we have the columns. So this is our pyramid, and that would be our column. If we hadn't cut it up, so the column would be in here, just always in between each pyramid. And a lobule is the pyramid plus the cortex. So that would be the lobe, and the lobule is just a tiny little part of the pyramid, so like a medullary ray. So here we've got the lobule, just a tiny little part of it, and the lobe is the whole thing here, so all of this. Again, lobe, the whole thing, and the lobule, just the tiny little part. The medulla is the area that is highly rich in blood, as you can see here, because it has a lot of arteries and little arterioles and little where the blood gets filtrated. So that's here at the cortex, where the glomerulus is, and the nephron then has another little part that's called the loop of Henle that is going into the pyramid. So here's the loop of Henle, and the other parts of the nephron are all in the cortex. This here, This part here is the cortex, or in this picture it's here. This is the cortex, and here's the glomerulus, and the loop of Henle is in here. This kidney, we can really see the capsule. There's fibrous tissue that covers the kidney, and once taken off, we can see it changes color. It's red. We can also see some adipose tissue, some fat around, and here the ureter. Where we have more blood, we can also see as you can see here, we can also see the arteries and the veins. Again, the nephron is in the cortex. The medulla is rich in blood. We have the pelvis. That's part of our urinary system, and the pyramids that contain the loop of Henle.